here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Thursday, October 24th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Today, we're joined by Kwon Ji-hyun.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, and Brooke Prince.
Hello, glad to be here.
Lovely to have you. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. So, we're going to begin with our keyword news of the day. Today's keyword is swicy. Now, swicy is a combination of the words sweet and spicy used to describe the rising popularity of food and drinks that balance these two flavors. And more restaurants in the United States are adding sweet and spicy items to their menus. According to US-based market research from Data Central, nearly 10% of restaurant menus now feature sweet and spicy items. And over the next 4 years, that number is projected to grow by another 10 percentage points. And some popular examples include fruity flavors paired with chili powder or sauces like hot honey and Korea's traditional gochujang red chili paste, such as a fried chicken sandwich from a popular burger chain featuring crispy chicken coated in gochujang sauce. So I want to ask you, Brooke, what's driving this craze for swicy?
Well, I think the simple answer would be it's delicious.
Right.
But to give you a more expert opinion, according to trendologist Kara Nielsen, the reason that sweet heat or swicy is kind of everlasting is because it's such a key component of traditional global cuisines, like Mexican, like Thai, like Korean, that a lot of people with that heritage, they're already familiar with it. They already love it. So of course they're going to go out and get it. And then it gets repackaged and reintroduced to the general public in a way that is a bit more accessible to them, and it allows them to go and explore that flavor profile. For example, like you mentioned, a lot of fast food chains are now introducing the popular Korean gochujang, which I put on everything. It's a delicious sauce. Nielsen added that the swicy trend is also very popular amongst the Gen Z generation. Apparently, they are a generation that is really excited about complex flavor profiles. In fact, a survey found that over half of Gen Z consumers identify as quote-unquote hot sauce connoisseurs, which I am a millennial, but I also identify as a hot sauce connoisseur. I put hot sauce on almost everything, and I really love the swicy trend. I would recommend among Korean foods, there's this chicken called burinker chicken, and the spicy version with spicy seasoning with their sweet yogurt sauce is just delicious. Definitely try it.
Some very good recommendations from Brooke, and she mentioned how swicy has become popular, especially among our generation. So Jiyeon, I also want to ask you, are you a fan of this taste swicy, and do you also have some recommendations for our viewers?
Of course. Well, I believe swicy has become quite popular here because it offers a perfect mix of sweet and spicy, which makes it both exciting and satisfying at the same time. Well, personally, I do enjoy this combination, though I prefer the milder versions, as I'm not a big fan of those, hot, overly spicy food. In Korea, you will even find sweet and spicy crisp snacks, which are a popular snack and definitely worth trying it. And another great example of swicy is Korean fried chicken with a gochujang glaze on it. We call it yangnyeom chicken.
So good.
Seasoned chicken.
It is indeed. It's delicious without being too overpowering. Who knows? Some might start adding gochujang to everything, every dish they have, right?
Right. Some good starter recommendations from Jiyeon as well. So if you're interested in swicy, why not try out these Korean-style fried chicken or chips. And that was our news feed for this Thursday. So we're now going to move on to our main discussion of the day. Every Thursday, we are focusing on the Korean wave and the global appeal of Korean culture. So for more on today's topic, take a look at the screen to find out more.
Last Tuesday, we took a closer look at Han Kang, South Korea's first Nobel Prize winner in literature. Today, as a follow-up, we're going to explore the impact her win is having on the global literary scene.
Now, many people say Han Kang's Nobel Prize win, this is the first Nobel Prize in Literature win for South Korea, has reignited a reading fever here in the country with an excessive explosion of interest in her works, right, Jiyeon?
Right. Well, since Han Kang, the writer Han Kang, won the Nobel Prize in Literature, there's been a surge in interest in reading across this country, giving the publishing industry a real boost. So in a recent survey of adults, 55% said they intend to read her books in the future. future. According to a recent survey by Gallup Korea, out of 1,001 adults, about 21% have read her novel by Han Kang. And the survey conducted from October 15th to 17th also revealed that 55% of respondents are planning to read her books in the future, while 24% showed different opinions. Well, this surge in interest is a sort of a reflection of her recent novel win, which has sparked a renewed wave of excitement for Korean literature. And moreover, what is interesting is that second-hand copies are selling for high prices these days for looking for her first editions of the books. And also libraries have also reported a sharp rise in demand for her books as well.
Right, and just like you mentioned, Han Kang's Nobel Prize win has not only sparked interest towards her books, but it has also renewed a great interest in Korean literature, right, Brooke?
That's right. It's been found that sales of K-literature in general have increased significantly since Han Kang won the Nobel Prize in Literature, which I just want to say a big congratulations. What a huge accomplishment. One online bookstore announced that sales of novels, poetry, and plays increased by 49.3% from the 10th to the 16th, the period following when her win was announced, compared to the same period last year. Within just 6 days, the author's books sold over 1 million copies. Now, interestingly, like we're talking about, it's not just her works that have been flying off the shelves, but even works that she's mentioned have also been enjoying renewed popularity. For example, the children's book, The Brothers Lionheart by Astrid Lindgren, which Han Kang mentioned as one of her childhood favorites, saw its sales increase by 35 times compared to last year. Additionally, following her recommendation, Mary Oliver's essay collection, Long Life, skyrocketed by 6,800%, a huge number, while Elizabeth Strout's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Olive Kitteridge, soared by 2,466.7%. So in other words, you could say she kind of has the Midas touch when it comes to books. Anything she mentions turns to gold, and that just really shows her power and influence as an author.
Right, books are definitely making a comeback, as we're seeing after Han Kang's Nobel Prize win. And I've heard that this reading trend is especially strong among our generation, which is one of the biggest reasons why we brought this topic today. And this is really interesting because our generation is known for gravitating towards more digital content like videos rather than books. So can you tell us more about what's driving this shift among our generation to become more fascinated into reading and especially books?
Well, of course, even before the Nobel Prize win, there was already a rising trend of reading among the MZ generation. On social media, the text hip trend has gained popularity, with reading and analog activities like sharing quotes seen as fashionable, stylish, and cool. So MZs frequently choose a book of the month through social media, sharing reviews, favorite quotes, and even photos of handwritten notes by themselves. And book clubs and reading challenges have also become quite popular here. Celebrities like RM and IU and Lyssa Pim's Ho Yoon-jin and Jang Won-young's IVE have been seen reading or recommending books to her fan. This actually sparked even more interest in books. The Nobel win came at the perfect time to boost this exciting passion for reading among the MZs in Korea. At this rate, book clubs might just be the next new coffee shops for them.
Maybe we'll get to see that change. Now, Brooke, are there any other reasons why our generation is so more into reading these days?
Well, you mentioned how our generation tends to be drawn towards a screen, right? But actually, it's kind of cycling back around to where digital content is actually now pushing us back towards books. So what I'm talking about is the MZ generation has been engaging in a popular online trend called Book Talk. Now, Book Talk is a thriving community on the social media platform TikTok dedicated to all things literary, all things books. So what the users do is they create these short-form, engaging videos that discuss, review, and recommend their favorite books. They might sit there and cry over their favorite chapter or talk about the characters that they love, and it really brings people in. In fact, this subculture has amassed over 107 billion views globally, and as such, it's had a huge impact on our reading habits and book sales. Almost 2/3 of 16 to 25-year-olds say that Book Talk or book influencers, which is now a thing, have helped them to discover a passion for reading. How incredible, right? The New York Times describes Book Talk as a bestseller machine, and according to a report by Circana, the increase in book sales over the past few years in adult fiction is directly a result of Book Talk's influence. So these days we are seeing Book Talk also mention a lot of K literature. I think we'll start to see Book Talk catch on in many places around the world, specifically following this Nobel Prize win. People are talking about Han Kang all over the internet.
Right.
And as a result, I think young people are going to find their way not only to her works, but all sorts of works. Get the reading going.
Get the reading going. And you mentioned how, especially on the internet, there is a lot of talk about Han Kang and also her books. And it's not just a big of an impact that Han Kang is making on Korea's literary scene. We're actually seeing her making a global impact in the global literary scene. So, Juyeon, do you have any examples that kind of show what kind of impact Han Kang has made to this industry?
Well, Han Kang's Nobel Prize has shown a significant impact to our society. It's not just in Korea. The Han Kang's craze is spreading all overseas as well. According to local media, major bookstores in cities like London and Berlin have completely sold out of her books. And there's also been a flood of inquiries from people wanting to get their hands on the original Korean editions of the book. Well, this global interest in a work reflects a growing appeal of Korean literature, of course, with readers eager to explore their powerful storytelling beyond the translations.
And it's not just offline stores that consumers are having a difficult time finding Han Kang's books. They're also having a hard time getting these books online too.
That's right. I actually wanted to purchase one of her books and bring it in for the show today, but it was all sold out and I wouldn't have been able to receive them until November. So that just shows you how quickly her books are flying off the shelves. And just to talk about how popular this is all over the world, I actually found out about her Nobel Prize win from my father, who is an American living in the US. He sent me an article, a headline about her winning the Nobel Prize. So it really was global news, and it resulted in a buying frenzy, not just in Korea, but overseas as well. In fact, looking at Amazon, the largest online retailer in the world, 4 of the top 10 best-selling books were Han Kang's works. We have The Vegetarian, one of her classics. The paperback, audiobook, and ebook versions took 1st, 2nd, and 8th place respectively, while Human Acts took 4th place. And again, like we've been talking about, people have been talking about her books all over the internet, on Book Talk, in articles. And so that's just keeping the ball rolling. I really think she ignited a new literary passion, and it's great to see that it's not just contained in Korea where she's from, but it has had wide-reaching influence all over the globe.
She definitely has. Now, to find out more about this reading craze and the growing interest in Korean literature, we're going to invite a Korean author to our talks after this short break.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang.News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today for our live interview is Park So-young, author of the book The Snow Globe Duology. Welcome back to the show, So-young.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. So, So-young, as someone in the literary field, are you noticing that the passion for reading is making a comeback?
Yes, it's a solid fact that Han Kang's book sold over 1 million copies in just the first 6 days after she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. So it's not just the people in the literary field, but everyone in Korea could feel the passion firsthand. It was just a huge phenomenon that we've hardly experienced before. Because, people lined up outside of bookstores to buy a novel. That's something that I don't think that I've seen this kind of phenomenon since the release of a new Harry Potter series. So it was just amazing, and everyone in the literary field was celebrating. However, I think we need more time to see if this passion for reading is truly making a long-term comeback. If people start buying other novels after finishing Han Kang's works, then we can definitely say that the trend has fully returned. Because in my view, and according to the statistics, Korean readers tend to favor self-help and practical books that offer tangible knowledge to get ahead. But I believe that novels allow us to better understand life, and it serves as one of the greatest forms of entertainment. And one thing is clear through reading Han Kang's books, Korean readers are rediscovering the value of novels. And as a novelist, I couldn't be happier to witness this moment.
Yes, so are you seeing a surge in global interest toward Korean literature since Han Kang's Nobel Prize win? If so, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think it's a little bit early to talk about the full impact of the Nobel Prize win, because I imagine global readers are now exploring Han Kang's books, and international agents are probably looking for the next big thing in Korean literature. So we are in the middle of that process. And I'm quite sure that the ripple effect of this milestone would go beyond our expectations and imagination. Because even before this award, over the past few years, many things have changed. And now Korean literature is a category that global readers are more easily drawn to. Because even in my case, as you can see the books behind me, those are international editions of my debut novel, Snow Globe. So there's English edition, Thai edition, and Russian edition, and there are more coming. And one of them is French edition, which is coming out in January 2025. And the French publisher is planning to send promotional pre-copies to 100 book influencers. And I didn't ask whether they decided to promote Snow Globe with such enthusiasm after the big news in Korean literature, but I'm pretty sure that it was a part of their original plan. And this shows that Korean literature is now being treated as an international big deal. And I strongly believe that we will grow even faster and bigger thanks to the groundbreaking achievement of Han Kang.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us, and congrats on all of your success as well. One last question for you. In your opinion, what kind of support is needed for more Korean authors and their works to gain international recognition?
Most importantly, we need to improve the working condition for translators and invest in training more of them, especially those who can translate languages other than English. Because currently many manuscripts are translated into English first and then retranslated into a second language, which often results in a loss of the original work's charm, individuality, and nuances. So by supporting direct translation from Korean into various languages, we can preserve the unique qualities of the original texts and make Korean literature more accessible and appealing to global readers. Furthermore, I hope government organizations could play a bigger role in promoting Korean authors and their works at major international book fairs, literary festivals, and through global media channels. With these efforts, Korean literature will not only gain recognition, but also inspire readers around the world. And the unique voices of Korean authors have so much to offer. So with the right support, we can truly resonate globally.
Hope we can see more support measures that shed light on all those incredible Korean authors and their works, just like you. All right, So-young, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so as we wrap up today's episode, many people say that fall is the perfect season to grab a book and curl up on the couch. So I want to ask you, could you give just one recommendation for our viewers this fall? Any Korean author or Korean book?
Well, I'd like to recommend all of the books that I brought today, but people might think that literature is too difficult to understand. But, you know, Korean folk tales are both entertaining and contain strong themes of good overcoming over evil. We call this good overcoming over evil. We call it 권선징악. For example, I brought this 홍길동전. This is a great recommendation.
It's a classic, right?
It's a classic folktale. 홍길동전 is the story of 홍길동. He's the son of a concubine who, after facing injustice, becomes a brave hero, brave leader, fighting against corruption and helping those in need. So as the leaves fall, so will you into a great book.
홍길동전, please write that down. You might want to check it out this fall. And what's your recommendation, Brooke?
Well, I have to say, among my foreign friends, we do have certain books that we read a lot, and they are textbooks.
Oh.
So, this is a reading mastery class for Korean. This is for the Korean proficiency exam. I will be taking this in a few months, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
But in order to improve my Korean reading ability even more, I decided I wanted to challenge myself to read K-literature in its original language.
Oh.
I brought several books today, but one to recommend is this one, Almond. I've already read this, the English translated version, but again, trying to challenge myself. This is about a boy with a brain condition that makes it hard for him to feel the emotions of other people. It's a very thought-provoking read, so I would recommend trying this one out. I also brought Love in the Big City. I heard that this just came out as a drama, so I hope that that will entice more people to not just watch the drama, but read the book as well.
Good, good. And if you or viewers have any recommendations that you'd like to give us, please leave a comment below on today's episode of NewsGen. And that's all from us today, but we'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks to Kwon Ji-yeon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And Brooke Prince.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.